Boo! Hi, welcome to the Stream of Blood. My name is Jared Logan. I am the game master here generally. Sometimes we have other game masters, but I'm generally the main guy. Boy, my hair is I look like I've just been scared by a spirit. Um you have tuned in to our Tuesday night show where we try all kinds of games, but tonight in the spirit of the season, October country, we are playing Wraith the Oblivion, a game where our players portray, excuse me, I feel like I'm a little uneven. Our players portray ghosts. In the first episode of our mini series, they died horribly. One of them killed the others and then turned the knife on their self. They died horribly. Then they found themselves in an afterlife. It wasn't heaven. It wasn't hell. It was a strange twilight existence in the Shadowlands. And they have since realized that they are in deep trouble if they cannot bust a specter that is dwelling in the haunt that they all currently share. So tonight you're going to watch Ghosts Busting Ghosts. Ghost on ghost crime, everybody. And I'm really excited to present this game to you. One of the World of Darkness games that has had a dear place in my heart for a long time. Doesn't see a lot of play, but that's what Taste of Blood is for. This is the show where we play all kinds of weird, unexpected games. And so you can see all kinds of fun stuff here. We have a couple of our series that people really love on the Stream of Blood coming up on Taste of Blood next week. Tune in for some more Call of Cthulhu action. We are going to be playing Call of Cthulhu. The Neptune Society will return. We have a fantastic cast that includes Mary Lou, who you've seen on the Neptune Society before. We also have Jordan Dahl, who you might remember from our Blades in the Dark games, the Kinohora, and a player new to the Stream of Blood, but I really hope you check out all of the things that he does. Gabe Soria will be here playing a game, a story I have entitled The Horns of Samhain. It will be a extremely Halloween themed Neptune Society investigation. So I hope you'll tune in for that next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. But tonight we're playing Wraith, and we've gotten to my favorite part of any game because I really do strive where I can to make my games sort of open-ended. I don't really know how they're going to end. I know sort of what the problems are, but I don't know what the solution is. The players have to come up with that on their own. And tonight, my players, they know what's going on. Now they must come up with a solution to the problem. Or maybe their characters just say, fuck this, and wander off into the Shadowlands. That's fine, too. That's a fun way to spend 2 hours for me. It's really up to my players. Before I bring them in, I want to say the thing that I often say here on the Stream of Blood. We are playing a horror game tonight. And when you play a horror game, horrible things might happen, terrifying things. There might be some graphic gore that is described. There might be powers used on people that control their minds or change their bodies in some horrific way. You might hear triggering things. If that doesn't sound good to you, give it a pass. But the most important thing to remind you is that we are always listening to your comments and reactions to our content here on the Stream of Blood, and we take them very seriously. So hit us up on our Discord server, the Server of Blood. Stream of Blood has a Discord. Get on there. Tell us what you thought. We really read every comment, and we really do take them seriously when we read them. So let us know what you thought anytime, especially if you loved it. Hey, I love those kind of comments. Okay, that said, I am now going to bring in our 3 players. Man, my first time playing with all 3 of these players, and I just can't wait to have them on more stuff. If they'll have me. If they'll have me, everybody. I'm at that stage in the dating where I'm like, I really like this person, but I don't know if they feel the same way about me. And boy, have I really set myself up to force compliments from my players right now. That's just the kind of oily, unctuous personality I have. I'm going to bring this guy in first. I first became aware of him as a game master for the Penny Arcade crew. He is also a musician and has his own musical brand. You can check out his Patreon at Patreon, Patrick McNamara. Here he is. Please welcome as Derek Jacobson, the Shakespearean actor turned reality show fop, now turned ghost. Please welcome Patrick McNamara.
It's me.
Hello.
So excited. I've been here the whole time waiting.
Yes.
Week.
Invisible, much like a wraith, invisible, creeping through the shadows.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I don't feel like I have a coherent plan, which is it's a very thrilling feeling.
That's okay. You've got two friends to help you come up with the coherent plan, and one NPC who knows how helpful that character will be. But first time playing Wraith, right, Patrick?
It was my first time playing Wraith. I tried to get through the book, but the book is very, very long.
Yes, but you're a World of Darkness guy. You like mage? Yeah. Are you a vampire guy?
I am a vampire guy too. I played in a campaign for about 2 years on stream and had a wonderful time. I played an animal spy master.
Ooh, nice! I love that. You used animalism to have the animals spy for you.
Yes, it was. I had a pack of well-trained dogs. It was very fun.
That sounds amazing. Well, I want to hear your final review of Wraith as a World of Darkness connoisseur when we are done here.
I've had a lot of fun, and it's one of those games I think you have to play because it's very intimidating to read about. But if you play it with a good games master, then you just go, okay, this now all makes sense in context.
Right, and maybe one day you'll do that. But right now you have me. Let's bring in our other players who will make this even more fun. She is a fantastic actress whom you can see on Southside Season 2 coming soon, and the Mystery County Monster Hunters Club podcast. She is playing Dina Lewis, a makeup artist turned dead person. Please welcome RASHAWN Scott.
Hello, I don't have a plan.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And the time-honored tradition of players everywhere, you guys put down your dice and said, I'll think about that next week. And now it's here. The time is here. You're reminding me to grab my dice before we start. Yeah, I mean, you'll come up with something.
Yeah.
I think, and maybe the chat can even help you. Chat, these dead people need a plan, or they're gonna die again. So, give them an idea. Chat, feel free to cheat off of the chat. RASHAWN, what do you think? I mean, is the game spooky? Is it creepy to think about dying? Are you afraid of death?
I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid of how I'm going to die.
Yeah.
You know, like if you go in an instant, that's awesome, cool, lights out. But like, what if you get like, pushed through like a cheese grater over the Grand Canyon, like stepped on by an elephant or something like that? That's horrible.
Yeah. Stepped on by an elephant would really, I think it would really suck, because I think that you would take you a little while to die, but you would die.
Yeah. Or like maybe if a hippopotamus just like chomped you one good time, you'd probably be done.
Or have you ever heard about the guys that get the elephant shat on him until he died? Like the guy suffocated in elephant shit? That happened one time.
No.
You have to be near an elephant. And elephants are just wonderful creatures.
It was a weird news story from a couple of years ago. A guy was giving an elephant, like, I guess, an elephant enema or something. Actually, let's bring in our final player, because they really want to weigh in on this. They are a fantastic role player who you may have seen them on the Ain't Slayed Nobody streams and podcasts, and they are also part of the Old Ways podcast, playing in Horror on the Orient Express. Please welcome RINA HAENZE, everybody.
Hello. I can't wait to hear what everyone's plans are for this. Everyone did the homework, right?
Of course.
No.
Yes.
No one has thought about it until 5 minutes before they logged on.
I was thinking about it the whole time, but I've been thinking about it every night. I've been going to sleep and thinking about it and thinking, no, I've got nothing. My character's not good at anything.
You're just gonna monologue at it.
Yeah. Well, once we review, once I do my lengthy recap, we'll maybe that'll jog some memories. It'll jog some ideas out of you. But RINA, we were just talking about. Did you ever hear the news story about the guy that the elephant shat on him till he died?
No, but it sounds like a pretty shitty way to go.
Yay!
Here we go. All right. And that's our show tonight, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for being part. No, I was just thinking that'll be my Wraith character, a guy who just was suffocated by elephant feces. I think he would have like a reason to hang on and fight to exist. All right, I've totally killed the party. So is everybody ready? Are you guys ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
All right. Then let's play Wraith, the Oblivion. The Call of the Dead reality show was a cheap ghost hunting excursion on a throwaway cable channel. It probably hadn't even been picked up by a decent streaming platform. These three intrepid investigators, were part of the Call of the Dead television program, and so went to the Tarrant Castle in Cleveland, Ohio, to investigate the legend of Dr. Hans Titelman, who was said to have murdered his 3 children. Yes, Hans Titelman. But upon arriving, there was some odd business with a weird mask that are the most true believer of our, yes, there it is, the biggest true believer of our group, Mac McReady, the parapsychologist played by RINA HAENZE. Mac found this mask in the attic, and upon donning it, suddenly found that their body was taken over by a malicious spirit that wielded a dagger it had found in a basement room uncovered by Dina and Derek. Wielding a dagger found in that strange kind of sarcophagus of a room. It proceeded to murder Dina and Derek, and then poor Mac turned the knife on themselves. So they awoke in the Shadowlands as wraiths, beings of ectoplasm. Dina found that she could stretch her ectoplasm and even float and fly through the air. Derek has learned that he has some mastery over the part of the Wraith called the Shadow. And our friend Mac has exhibited some ability with puppetry, as well as a little bit of a power to track fetters, the objects that are very important to Wraiths. This mask being one of those fetters. It's a fetter for Mac, and it may be important to the specter that dwells in this place, because you met Hans Titelman. You finally really talked to Hans Titelman, and you found out that he the boogeyman that the legends would have you believe. He has been spending 90 years in this haunted house trying to cure his 3 children, who upon crossing over into the afterlife because of a rare genetic disorder, turned into specters themselves, wraiths that have given over to their shadows. Yes, his children, Annalise, Mikkel, and what's the other one's name? Oh, and Eckert. Yes, they became consumed by their shadows, and he was here to cure them, but they have come under the influence of an awful specter that also dwells in the house, and he cannot be free of this place until he cures his children. And in order to cure them, he must destroy this specter somehow. And so Derek Jacobson cleverly managed to distract the children for a few scant minutes, if you're lucky, maybe an hour, as they go to torment the police who have come to the crime scene down below the house, in the tunnels below the house. And you are all standing, and Hans Titelman has asked you, what is the plan? What are we going to do? And so now, my wraiths, please tell me, what is your plan? What are you going to do? How are you going to destroy this wicked specter, whom we will refer to as der Ubergeist?
Well, bear with me here. What if we tried some Shakespeare?
All right, so here's my plan.
Did you hear something? It sounded like some old fart bag somewhere.
Well, that's very rude.
Well, how do we get this thing? We have layers of wraithness that we become more translucent, and so this thing is pretty solid in terms of spirit. What if we thinned it out? Maybe give it a little a trim. Maybe.
I mean, if you damage it, just like if you cut yourself when you were living, you will eventually thin its ectoplasm, as yours has been slightly, madam, and yours, sir. Its ectoplasm will become looser and less coherent. But I shudder to think of fighting the thing head on, and of course, my children are always protecting it.
Now you see. You know what children love is the theater. So I
really don't think this is helpful.
Well, what about those ghosts who chased us down initially? They had lots of weapons. We could get them on our side and fight this thing.
And I've told you that the hierarchy cannot enter this home.
We'll not bring them in.
Won't bring them in. We'll fight just outside
we just
the
need
door.
To put it in Weight Watchers. That's all we need to do.
When they are finished destroying the specter, who do you think that they will come for next?
I'll sacrifice
for
myself.
You.
No,
it'll be fine. We're already dead.
I wanted to. We can't leave you. You've got practical skills. You should be
find some way of getting the Ubergeist out of the house. Then perhaps the hierarchs, their patrols would have a chance against him, or at least winnow him down a bit for us. But I don't know how you'll ever get the Ubergeist out of the house.
Is the Ubergeist like the theater?
I don't think so, Derek Jacobson.
I'm all out of ideas. I don't know. I feel like I'm giving it everything I have. But if we can't find a theatrical solution to this problem, I don't know that my skill set is going to be very useful.
You know, my good friend Clancy just gave me a real good idea. What can we steal his mask?
His mask is not a mask. It is a part of his ectoplasm.
So if we get it destroyed in the real world, if he's tied to it,
if his fetter is destroyed, that would be catastrophic for him. Do you think that that is a solution for us?
Well, I don't think it would be very great for me either, but if we need to get rid of this thing, because I don't want it all the way around here.
You are tied to it as well.
Apparently. Probably because I was wearing it when I died, you know.
Why are you tied to this thing of evil?
Because I touched it, and when I touched it, that thing attacked me when I was still in the land of the living, so apparently I have a connection to it now.
Mac McCready killed all of us.
Yes,
I didn't. I was possessed. God damn it,
seems
Derek.
that aura of corruption has really done a number on you, McCready.
Oh, yes.
McCready.
Yes, so the shadow has voiced itself inside of Mac McCready's head, and the aura of corruption is one of the shadow's thorns, which I happen to know means that you somehow make Mac look corrupted or rotten or evil in some way, and what does Mac's shadow do to make them look corrupted?
Their face is cracked into shards, and they are taken and replaced, so you look like a mosaic that's all fucked up.
So yes, if you were making any kind of social roll, you would get a -2 or 3 on the social roll, but we'll forgo that since we're just having a role-playing scene. I will just say that Titleman is like, look, you cannot even control your own dark side. How can I trust you to destroy a specter's fetter?
I mean, I've been dead for all of a couple hours. I'm just trying to...
What if we hit it with a ghost stick or something? Do ghosts have sticks? Is there a special kind of weapon we can use? There's got to be something in here. You've got weapons in the house, right? Surely.
There are very few things.
America.
There are objects that pass over into the Shadowlands. They are objects that are infused with emotion from people that owned them or used them. We call those relics. But other than that, most of the objects you see around you are in the skin lands, the lands of the living, and it is very difficult. And he passes his hand through a banister. Difficult for us to interact with them.
Oh, I
So-
could possess my sister.
Is your sister here?
I mean, she doesn't live that far. She always does this thing where she lives like 15 minutes from wherever my last gig is going to be.
Hans, remember when we were with the mask originally in the room with the living people, and together we were able to move it?
Yes.
Do you remember that? Do you think
Yes.
do you think that working together there's a way we could either get one of the living people to accidentally destroy it, or that we could destroy it somehow? Because if we worked together and we made that happen last time, it wasn't very much, but we might be able to get one of those stupid
It's
policemen
made
to do it or
of
something.
metal. It's made of steel. And besides, I don't trust you. No,
That's valid.
I can see the shadow kicking and spitting inside of you.
Now I have an idea.
Gross.
But I
Is
also
it
have
more
a question.
Shakespeare? Is it
I
more
have a
Shakespeare,
question for the
Derek?
storyteller. Does Derek know? Because he has a power called Phantasm, which I believe lets him talk to people in their dreams.
That's right.
But Derek doesn't necessarily know that he has Phantasm. Does he have
Well-
a sense that he could do it?
He might have a sense that he could do it. He could certainly have a sense that he could do it. And I don't want to leave on the ground. I don't want to leave on the floor Dina Lewis's idea of going and getting like a mortal that is close to her and sort of using them as a means of I like this idea you guys are going with as your storyteller of messing with this fetter, this
Yeah.
mask.
Well,
but
that was
like
my thinking, is
yeah,
that
you
we
need something that can you need to figure out how to handle it, and it's made of metal, as I said. So how do you destroy something like that?
Well, we've got to heat it up and like boil it down into nothingness. I figured I somehow connect with my sister, possess her in a way, bring her to this location. I'd sacrifice her in a way, which kind of sucks, but why have a sister?
I wanted to build on your idea that I could reach into her dreams as she sleeps.
Okay.
Provide her with this suggestion to go to that spooky fucking house and get this mask and, smash it or something.
It makes sense that your sister would live in Cleveland because Dina Lewis. Perhaps they hired local makeup artists. It's the kind of thing a really terrible television show like Call of the Dead would do. Yeah, if you guys want to attempt something like that, that would mean leaving the house for a while, right?
Oh, we can't do it remotely?
Well, how would you? I mean, tell me the power that you're going to use.
Well, I was thinking I was thinking, or Derek's plan was. Derek was thinking, I have this sense that I could appear as a vision in a dream.
But what's the range on that? Do you have to be like
I don't know.
30 feet away?
I can tell you that the range on that is not infinite or even like 7 miles. I think that what you need to do is go to your sister. And let's see here. You have a dream weaver power, Derek. You can watch their dreams. That's called sleep sense or dream reading. You can do that, but then you can change virtually anything in a dream by paying some of your pathos and rolling manipulation plus phantasm. But the range is you have to be there with them.
Well, we have 2 likely targets for this dream suggestion. There is, of course, your sister. But also nearby is my beloved personal assistant, Miffy. So, if we mess up the whole sister thing, we can just try it on Miffy.
Why don't we just try it on Miffy first? Isn't she in the house?
And Bobby's there too.
We saw them when we floated up here a bit ago.
I thought I assumed that Miffy would have gone home by now.
She's not from Cleveland, Derek.
We've got to. I mean, to her hotel, of course, Mac McCready.
You are going to leave me
No, we're not going.
Nope.
like all the others have.
What can we
I
leave
know
you
it's-
as collateral?
We'll leave Mac McCready here. They're probably evil, so it makes sense to leave them in the evil ghost house.
Do you ever think that maybe we're just not good people, Derek Jacobson? Did you ever think that?
I am never knowingly self-aware, Mike McCready. Mac
Not
McCready.
that- Mike, thank you.
Mike, no, that's the guitarist from Pearl Jam.
Yes. Mac McCready, you will stay here because if you wish for me to trust you and work with you, you must allow me to practice castigation on you.
You want to practice what?
Castigation.
It's
I
like
can't
I
have
must-
kids anyway in this form, so I don't know what.
No.
You...
It's not what you think. I must weaken your shadow.
Okay, fine,
on.
whatever.
maybe we do need Mac McCready with us.
Blink twice if you want to come with us. Blink
Can I-
once if you're all right.
So I want to try and manipulate this spirit and convince them that actually Mac McCready is required. Because
Okay.
Derek's not a
Yeah,
nice
sure.
guy. I
God,
don't think,
make up,
I don't think
make
he's
up your
really
mind,
willing
Derek. Oh my God.
to leave Mac here to be sort of
To leave or not to leave, Derek.
Suddenly, you hear giggling somewhere down the hall,
Oh.
and you realize the children are coming back. So, if you're going to make your exit right now and go to find a human pawn to use to destroy the mask, then you have to go now. But Mac, I think I'll leave it up to Max, player, and Mac, the character. Do you want to stay with Hans Titleman and help him to defend against this thing until they get back, or do you want to go with the other members of your circle of wraiths and help them?
Should probably just stay here and just fuck it up again like I fucked this up.
Okay, very good. Bye. Enjoy the scary ghost, children. Come on, Dina.
Oh yeah, and Dina just like slithers out, turns into smoke.
Yes, Dina's got the Argos power that allows her to fly, so she can kind of smoke away as Derek thumps like he's still a living man down the front steps, back out into the Shadowlands, a strange sort of twilight version of the world. The sky never gets bright, the sun never quite shines, the air is filled with fog and far off echoes, screams and shouts that are never quite clear, and all around you are the dead carcasses of houses that once were in this area, buildings that were torn down long ago to make room for new suburban dwellings. Pieces of them still kind of hang on the side of the houses that you saw when you were here earlier as a living person, and you run out, and we'll find out where you're going soon. But Hans says, "Come, we must go. The children will find us. They will torment us."
Can't have that. Lead on, spirit, as Derek would say.
You
That's a
see,
very reductive impression.
you have become under the thrall of your shadow. I can tell.
What's a shadow? You keep using all these terms. I've been dead for like 2 hours. I have no
A
idea.
voice inside your head. Do you not hear it?
Okay, yes.
And has it not already sapped some of your strength, some of your will to persevere?
Yeah, I guess.
It is the part of you that wishes to be drawn down into oblivion, to disappear forever. Are you going to continue to listen to it?
I mean, Oblivion doesn't sound all that bad at the moment between the creepy ghost children and the terrifying.
This is why you cannot help me. Oblivion does not sound that bad. You wish to sink down into the mire of the labyrinth, to become the rapacious plaything of the neverborn.
I don't know these things, my dude.
So you're just gonna let this guy prove you wrong. Well, I shouldn't have even started to play with you.
Oh, God. Can you make it shut up? Is Oblivion a
can.
bad thing?
Because a shadow needs to be whipped into shape.
Kinky.
And he opens. Well, he doesn't open a door. He actually has to. You have to follow him through a wall. And if you do that, you're going to take a point of corpus off of your corpus, Mac.
Yep. Oh, that wasn't pleasant. Don't like that.
And now you are in a kind of a walled off area that looks like it might have used to have been his doctor's office. And you can see that there are all kinds of old fashioned, 1930s doctor tools in here, some of which look very questionable, some of which look like bone saws and weird like brain funnels and things like that. And he's like, get onto the table and I will make it quiet for you.
I mean, what's a table gonna do against me? Fine, get on the table. I'm so scared.
This is very confusing right now.
Listen, talking to your player, to RINA, like maybe Mac doesn't want to go through with this. This guy is, the doctor isn't exactly, he doesn't have an aura of corruption, but he doesn't seem like he's
all there.
He's all there. Yeah. And he is currently like pulling out saws and weird apparatus that you really don't like the look of.
But on the other hand, like, my shadow's been kind of tearing down my self-confidence, and I kind of feel like I deserve this anyway. So,
I mean, don't make me feel bad.
It was either this or hanging out with Derek.
Well,
and I'll take the bone saws.
Can't I give you some like willpower or something to like believe in yourself just a bit, enough to get away from this awful situation?
As a shadow, you really want to get away from this situation. There's something that is making the shadow very, he's talking about silencing
that can
this
never
shadow.
happen. I'm the part of you that says the things that you can't say. What if I'm gone? Then you're just a shell. That's boring. Let's get out of here. I'll give you...
When I wasn't boring, I murdered people. So, not sure.
I mean, come on. Everyone's in your life for a season or two.
It's speaking to you now. Quit listening to it.
I'll give you 3. What was it? D6 or D10?
D10s. Three dice.
I'll give you 3 dice, and we'll get out of here. You'll be the hero. I promise it.
Oh.
Do it for your sister.
He's approaching you with like a.
If you're gonna
approaching you with a hammer and a big mallet and like a what looks like some sort of like nail or like stake.
Just get it over with. It's talking to me. Make it stop. Make it stop.
I must apply a most painful cure. Silence.
I deserve it anyway.
Pain makes the shadow go away. And he begins to work on you with bone saws and hammer. Let's see here. What is the permanent angst of this shadow currently?
And those are the squares or the circles?
The circles.
3.
Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see here. Yeah, all right. So he has to get 3 successes in order to help you right now. But the next thing he does is as he starts working on you, you take another corpus level of damage if you are allowing him to do this, Mac McRitty. And here we go. He's going to roll to remove some of this temporary angst that you've taken. And
I
want to know is you're just saying I deserve this. I deserve this. This has become like extremely. This is what castigation is all about. Shame and sadomasochism. Here we go.
Stitch that on a pillow.
I was already into that bit. So
he got 3 successes. So,
Woo!
yeah.
Okay, bye.
Do you spend willpower to improve this roll, Mac McReady?
How does
You
that
don't
work?
have to. Well, you could spend willpower, and anything that he rolled that wasn't a success already, he already succeeded, but
Mhm.
anything he rolled that wasn't a success, he might re-roll.
Would it benefit me if he does? If he does better?
Yeah, it would.
Okay. Okay, I'll spend one.
Okay. You spend one. We re-roll the rest of the dice here, and 2 more successes come up, so 5 successes, and your temporary angst goes to 0. Your shadow can't use thorns for a little while until it gets that angst back up somehow. And it's probably going to be kind of quiet for a while. But what I want to tell you is that he's got weird like relic like apparatus attached to your neck, like he's pumping a billows. Every once in a while he goes, ah, it smashes your leg. And when he gets done with you, Mac McReady, you're kind of like in pieces. And you kind of have to like pull yourself back together.
Gotta put my life back together. Or my afterlife.
Do you feel better?
There's no voice now. I think. And Mac's just listening for a moment. It's gone, I think. I don't hear it anymore.
The pain purifies you.
So I've heard.
Are you ready to face down the evil in the basement?
If we have Dina and Derek's plan as part of it, yes.
Then I hope to God that they were successful. And meanwhile, let's see. How quickly are you? Who did you decide to go to? Miffy or Dina's sister? Margaret.
Well, we should decide that now. If you're able to give me enough information about your sister,
Miffy's right there, and I just see her like walking across the street.
Oh, there's Miffy.
You actually do, because Miffy is currently like got like a blanket over her, and someone's given her a cup of coffee, and she's sitting like on the edge of like an ambulance, and the police are talking to Miffy because the entire investigation is still going on, and I guess that the night isn't quite over. The night when all of this started isn't quite over. Although the first rays of dawn are starting to kind of come across the horizon. And so let's see. Miffy is sitting right there. What are you going to do?
But can I use my power without her being asleep, or do I have to wait until she's asleep?
You have to wait until she's asleep.
Okay, I'm going to stand near Miffy and say, now, Miffy, it's very late. You should go to sleep, and then I will appear in your dreams and give you a quest. But it's very important you go to sleep.
You're giving it so much.
Miffy is, it's kind of hard to see Miffy, but it's definitely her. And she seems like kind of sped up film. The cops get done talking to her, and Miffy starts moving back over to the big 8-passenger van that brought you from the hotel to the shooting location. And you can see inside of it your life sight. Which all wraiths have, picks up that there are 2 more kind of glowing bodies inside, living people sitting inside of it. And I'll just let you know that one is the driver and the other is Bobby, the host of Call of the Dead. And Bobby, all of his energy and I don't know, get up and go has left him. He's sitting like with his head hanging low, and Miffy is getting into the van with him to ride back to the hotel. You guys can hop a ride if you're quick.
Yeah, I want to either hop in the back seat or like on top and kind of just creep with them back to their rooms. I think we should go with her to her.
Dina, here's another plan. We should just tell this guy to fuck off. We just go and explore the Shadowlands without him. I know. Why we helping these weird ghosts? Let's just go home. Let's just make a place for ourselves in this new world. We We don't need to help Derek Jacobson. Wouldn't it be wonderful just to escape him? Isn't he kind of a prick? I mean, Mac McCready seems fine, but you know, none of this really seems like your problem, Dina. You get what I'm saying here?
See, I'm so very torn because RASHAWN would
There's
just
no
fuck off.
problem. Yeah, and there's no problem with following what your shadow says either. Nothing in the game says you don't have to. You don't have to listen to it.
I think when we get there. Okay, so I'm hearing this, and as we get closer to the hotel, Derek is going off with Miffy, and I'm gonna peel off to like the lounge area and see what it's like to just be off in this world by myself a little bit. Just letting you know, I'll link up with you once you come back. You incept her dream. I'll be downstairs.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, you find that the Shadowlands is empty. In the land of the living, there are a couple workers cleaning up the hotel bar, you know, in the morning. And they're, you know, people getting just starting to get the continental breakfast set up in this like kind of boutique-y kind of business hotel where they had you all staying. Or not you, Dina, but they had the talent staying.
This is nice.
Continental breakfast.
Yeah, but like this place is so sterilized and kind of new that you're not detecting any kind of wraiths here. You'll have to kind of leave and walk around the Shadowlands to see if you find any other spirits of interest, or you could go and see your sister. I mean, that you actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell Dina that she does feel a thread sort of pulling her that way slightly.
Yeah, I want to meet an experienced Wraith. I've met a young Wraiths, and I'd like to see someone with more experience who can show me the grass is a little bit greener.
Yeah, all right. So do you want to just kind of wander out of the hotel and kind of look around some more?
Yeah, I'll float up to the skyline and kind of like go over rooftops. Like, boing,
Oh,
boing,
wow.
boing,
Okay, that's
boing.
amazing. So as you are doing this, you notice like there is another spirit kind of like skirting along the rooftops. And this spirit, when you use your Argos powers, you like get like a lot of arms, you said, like it's almost like a mandala or something like that. Like, yeah, wow. But this spirit, like wings have sprouted from her back like Icarus, and she's just sort of kind of dive bombing like from building to building through the sky.
You're gorgeous. How do I get to your level?
If you want to catch up to her,
Yeah.
because she kind of like looks back at you, and the look isn't one of foreboding. It's just kind of like, you know, I don't know who you are, and I don't want to engage. Like, so she keeps moving after
I
a quick
want her
look back
even
at you.
more.
And so you need to give me your Argos is 2.
Okay.
Why don't you roll why don't we call it a dexterity plus Argos roll to see if you can like catch up to this flying wraith?
Okay. It's gonna be 1 success.
One
Out
success.
of 5.
Okay, 1 success. That is not very much. Would you like to spend willpower? Oh,
Dina, we have to meet this person. This could be the fulcrum of our new life. Let me just lend you a little of my power, so we can chase them down.
Yeah, I need about 7 die if you got it.
I can do 5.
Deal.
Do you want to give the shadow 5 more temporary angst and you roll 5 more die? Is that what's happening?
I believe so.
I just reached into my dice tray to give you the dice.
Thank you.
That's how immersed I am.
I think
That's just
you
good
did
stuff.
Don't go
last
through the
week,
screen.
too.
Okay, so that's 3 successes.
3 successes is quite enough. You suddenly feel the shadow surge inside of you, and you pick up like a gust of wind, an errant draft of air, because although the Shadowlands seems to be devoid of all life, there are no animals. There, even the trees all look wilted and dying, and a lot of them don't move the way trees should. But there is air, or there is like it always feels like a storm front is brewing here, and so you catch a gust of wind, and then you are right behind this female spirit who suddenly parkours down onto the edge of a building like a gargoyle and looks back at you and is like, "You're following me.
Yes.
So can I help you?"
I want to know, why is it so great to be a Wraith?
Are you
I know
kidding
that.
me?
Oh my god, that's like a terrible opening line. You're just so intimidating, and I'm just, I told my friends to fuck off, essentially, and I wanna be a dominant power in this side of things. How can I get like you?
I see you already have some talent in Argos.
I dabble, and then I float up.
You're very new.
I have to say
What did
it
you
like
die?
that.
You die yesterday?
Yeah, I was stabbed in the back and twice in the chest.
There is another layer to the Shadowlands. It's just on the other side of this veil, this Shadowland reality that we're in. It's called the Tempest. In some places it gets very close to here. You can hear the rushing waters, the waves crashing. If you know Argos, you are one of the few wraiths that can brave the Tempest. And do you know what's on the other side of the Tempest, little wraith?
I love that name. No.
Heaven.
Heaven.
Paradise. Yes. We are here to perfect ourselves for a journey across the Tempest to the far shores where paradise awaits us. Wow. The hierarchy cannot help you, but we can. And this wraith takes a weird kind of a symbol, and the symbol is one of it's a caduceus, right? And it looks like it's made, like it's been like cobbled together out of like flotsam and jetsam. Who knows what it was made out of? But a caduceus is like kind of like it's like a snake's going around like a kind of a rod, and it's like hands it to you and says, "If you can find us in Cleveland's Tempest, and you present that, we may have other secrets to share with you."
All right. Dina curtsies and then unzips her fanny pack and puts it inside, zips it up. I understand.
You've got a little bit of storm on you.
Oh,
A little sea spray.
do you want to wipe it off of my face? Sorry.
You've been close to the Tempest already, I can tell.
I have.
Careful. Be careful. It'll suck in a little ghost like you.
Wow.
She jumps off the building.
Whew.
And you see right before she's about to splatter all over the pavement, she does that and is like gliding along the street, like very low, actually going under Skinland's cars and away from you.
What's your name?
Meanwhile,
Oh shit.
You see, Dina, and you meet incredible new people and get these great new experiences. Why would you hang out with those losers just because you knew them when they were alive, when you could be hanging out with awesome angel ghosts who tell you about heaven?
I mean, I wasn't very religious when I was living.
I'm just saying
So,
that
like-
was sick.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean, I want to tell everybody about that. Well, I wanted to go tell it. Yeah, it was cool.
If Dina does get distracted and goes off on this quest, I just want Rashawn, the player, to know that's completely fine. But I think that the shadow has already distracted Dina enough that the shadow can have. Oh, well, it already just got 5 angst. Does that put you at 10 yet?
It does not. No. That
Okay.
puts me at 5 because I had 0 because I'd already gone up with permanent angst.
Oh, great. Go ahead and take 2 more, because I think that the shadow that you are playing, Patrick, is called the Somnambulist, and likes to distract the Wraith that it is toying with. And I think that you have successfully done that. But maybe, who knows? Maybe Dina can move her experience back into the fabric of helping Mac, or maybe Dina will choose to go off into the Tempest and find these people. Right now, I want to follow Derek Jacobson, who is inside a hotel room. You've had to move quickly, Derek, to like get into the elevator and then get into the hotel room with Mifanwe. And Mifanwe is just like can't even take off her clothes or take a shower, just falls asleep fully clothed onto the bed, like doesn't even bother to undress. And then soon you see bubbles, or it looks like some kind of like liquid kind of like coalescing above Mifanwe's sleeping head.
I'm gonna do some ghost shit. I'm gonna use my. I want to use my kind of instinctively use my powers of phantasm to visit her in her dream.
Very good. So you're gonna first read her dreams, and in order to do that, I want you to roll your resolve plus phantasm, and you have a phantasm of 2.
Okay, so I can't find resolve.
Resolve is on your sheet, or yeah, it should be. Let me see here. Derek Jacobson, you have a resolve.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong section. That's why I can't
of
find it.
2.
It's because I'm stupid.
You're not stupid. These things are confusing. There's a lot of stuff on this sheet.
I got 3 successes.
Oh, that's quite enough. And you see that Mifanwe is having a dream where Mifanwe is moving through a Hollywood party. No, sorry, not a Hollywood party. A London Shakespeare party. And everybody's like kind of talking, and like Mifanwe is just going, Derek. And Mifanwe can't find you anywhere, and keeps like, and then like the party goes on and on endlessly. Like, there's always another room, there's always another balcony where people are smoking, which leads to like another bedroom, and then another kitchen where people are kind of laughing loudly and like cheersing each other, and everybody is wonderfully theatrical. And there he is, Reginald Derenge, your enemy. Yes. And Mifanwe is dreaming about him and says, Have you seen Derek? And Reginald is like, that nobody? Try working at McDonald's.
I'll kill you, Reginald Derenge.
You can start changing things in this dream if you want to attempt it. That is the dream that Mifanwe is having. And I just want to tell you, I love a game where one of the powers is changing people's dreams.
It's great, isn't it?
Yes. So what are you going to do? And when you roll, every success you get will be one thing you can change. So maybe we should go ahead and roll first, and then see how many changes you get. So this is called Dreamweaver. You need to pay 2 of your pathos points.
Oof.
And roll your manipulation plus phantasm.
Manipulation plus phantasm. Okay, manipulation's a good roll for Derek. So let's see a good roll. So I got 2 successes.
Okay. So
I
that
feel
means
like
you
I might want to spend some
Derek.
Listen, Shadow,
You
There's no
can
need
do
for this.
you can do better than that. Together. You can't let Reginald get the better of you in a dream.
I hate Reginald Range. It's true.
Right? That prick. Oh,
He
we
is a
could wipe him out of the dream world's existence, couldn't we?
That'd be perfect.
Wouldn't it?
What are you offering,
Wouldn't it?
Shadow?
I can give you 4 D10s.
I love D10s. That's my favorite kind
Yes.
of D.
Yes, we do. We will wipe out Reginald with the D10s, Derek.
Let's do it,
Let's
Shadow.
do it.
Fucking Reginald Deranged thinks he's so good. Fucking McDonald, I'll show him. I crit.
Oh, okay, amazing. So you have so many. If you crit, you have so many successes now. And by the way, Shadow, make sure you take 4 temporary angst for that. And if you ever get up to 10, go ahead and turn it into 1 new point of permanent angst. Derek, you have so many successes with a crit that I think you can go crazy. What do you change this dream to?
Well, firstly, Reginald Deranged immediately publicly shits himself.
Oh dear me. What have
I
Oh my God. Everybody starts laughing at Reginald Deranged as he goes, oh, I need the bathroom. Oh.
At which point, Derek Jacobson appears as he feels Miffy must see him, which is an incredibly idealized
Derek,
version of
Derek,
Jacobson.
I've been trying to get a hold of you, love. I have a
it's
message for you. You're dead.
Well, Miffy, let me tell you, there's dead and there's dead. And I might be dead, but I'm not dead. But there's one last thing, Miffy, before I need you to go on and live your life without me. I know you relied upon me terribly.
Wait, you're dead. This is not real.
I need you to do one last thing for me, Miffy. Before I
I'm
can
dreaming, aren't I?
I
gotta get up. I've got so many things to get
stay with me
ready.
for a second, Miffy. Stay with me. You must go back to the house. I know it's the last place you want to go, but you must go back there into the room where I was murdered by Mac McCready. And you must find a metal mask. You must take it from that house, Miffy, and you must destroy it. And then I can be at peace. And you can go on and live your life, as difficult as it will be to live without the radiant sunshine of Derek Jacobson's presence in your life. You must go on, Miffy. But first, do the mask thing. I really need that. It's a super big deal.
Yes, I have to wake up. I have things to do. I've got to take care of the mask. And she just wanders over to a door, and every door she's gone through has just led deeper into this party. But now she opens the door, and there's a storm outside, and it's like looks like a stormy ocean beyond. And she's like, "Right, okay." And then she wanders out of that door into the wind and the blowing haze, and she's gone. And the dream is gone as well. You suddenly find yourself standing beside her sleeping form, and the strange kind of ectoplasmic bubble of dream energy is gone. It's no longer floating over her. And you can see in her sleep that she's become restless and has woken up a little bit.
I'm sorry, Miffy, but if you'll just do this one last thing for me, then I will relieve you of your service. But I did pay you through the end of the month, so technically this is fine for me to ask you this.
We're gonna go back to the house where I know that Mac McCready and Hans Titleman are kind of hiding in this sort of secret kind of laboratory room that the doctor has kept all these many years. But now I can tell you that there's claw sounds along the wall, and the children are taunting you. Daddy, come out and play with us.
Did Stephen King ever visit this house? Because this is very The Shining. Like, I feel like
I don't know what you are referencing. I died in the 1940s. Listen to me. They know we're in here. They're just toying with us. I hope your friends come back quick, but I'm fear that we need another Another distraction for my lovely children. Oh, if the Obergeist has told them to deal with you, I shudder to think what they might try next.
Mhm.
Daddy. Clunk, 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 clunk.
How did he get them to you? Like, how did he turn them against you?
They were already specters. Many children go that way when they cross over. It is a great tragedy, and it's why the hierarchy soul forges every child wraith that they find. Now, the Ubergeist came later. There was a German American union here, some sort of organization. Some of the men, they were from Germany. They came here after the war. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
They did things in the basement. Rituals. I think they thought that Satan was going to reward them. The
Assholes.
Ubergeist is quite angry that he hasn't gotten his reward. I fear he and my children are coming for us now. What should we do?
Can we get back to the basement? We need to be where the mask is. If they're here, can we get down there?
Yes. Unfortunately, we'll have to go right through the floor. Are you up for it?
Am I still in pieces?
No, you can have rebuilt yourself, cobbled yourself back together.
I think I can manage, more or less.
So I know that Mac McCready has a total corpus of 10. So how many points of corpus damage have you taken altogether?
2 so far.
Okay. So from that procedure that he just did on you. Okay, he's like, I don't want us to be too weak when the battle finally happens. But come. And he starts climbing down through the floors. And you were on the second floor in this little area. So he's climbing down through the floors. And it's going to cost you 2 more corpus levels to kind of like shift yourself down into the basement again.
Being a ghost is not as fun as I thought it would be.
And you eventually arrive down in the cellar. And you can hear upstairs thunk, 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 as the Ubergeist and the children are kind of like looking around and searching for you.
Are the cops still down here, or have they left for the night?
So the cops were Derek sicked the children on them earlier, and so the cops are gone. And in fact, in the movie of the game, we might see the cops like going like a lot of them sitting on the curb, like kind of one of them having just vomited, and a detective saying to another one, "It never gets better. Never gets better. You never get used to seeing shit like that." Because humans are affected by something called the fog. When they encounter ghosts, they sometimes don't really quite remember that that's what they encountered. So I know earlier, Mac even like kind of did some strange effects to kind of like mess with the cops. They're not remembering any of that. They're just thinking they saw a grisly murder scene, and it really made them kind of like freaked out for a little while. But you're not aware of any of this. Your character's not. You are down in the cellar. You want to just kind of keep moving and leading them on a merry chase for a while till your friends get back? Is that what you want to do?
I think so, because I would say to Hans, we're not strong enough to fight them. And if they catch up to us, we won't be any help when the others get back, if they get back, Derek. But if we can keep them moving around, keep them chasing, they might not notice what we're up to.
Great. I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great plan. Go ahead and give me, I think that's going to be, let's call it dexterity plus composure to keep your head level and to keep moving quickly through the house and never letting them quite catch up with you.
Okay, so that's 5
And
d10.
Hans is going to roll his ability to do this as well.
1, 2, 3, 4. Woohoo! That is four successes out of 5.
4 successes out of 5 is amazing.
I took
And
some of Patrick's luck.
Hans only gets 2. So Hans, you're really helping him. Like you're like kind of pulling him along. So you keep a cat and mouse game going with these other wraiths, these specters, for a couple hours until it is now the afternoon, like the noon. It's clicking over to noon, I want to see, Derek, did you just stay with Mifanway until Mifanway roused herself?
I did, because I don't know how to get back otherwise. So
right. I mean, you would have to like lose corpus levels to like move, out of her room when the door is shut and stuff like
So
that.
I'm
So do you want to?
she's gonna wake up and sort of get an Uber, and Derek's just gonna sort of try and follow her through every door, so he doesn't very quickly follow her through doors, so he doesn't lose corpus.
She wakes up and is like, shit, so much to do. Oh, I've got to take Derek's family.
Don't do
They
the
hate him. They'll be so happy.
No, well, I don't think that's fair.
Because I think he had some money. I wonder if he left me any. She's talking to herself about all the stuff she has to do and being kind of like lightly insulting about the legacy of Derek Jacobson as she does so. Is she remembering a mask? Well, you see her making a list of to do, and then you see her kind of stop for a second. And the list does not say mask. It says like notify family. It says like, gather Derek's things. It says like check his estate, but you don't see the mask on there anywhere.
He's gonna just kind of spookily say, do the fucking mask thing. If he's not, do the mask thing from the dream.
Derek Jacobson has one more point of Arcanoi coming to him. Would he like to try to put everything he has into saying the mask, saying something to her?
Absolutely.
In that case, he will take a point of a power called Embody.
Ooh.
And Embody allows you to appear to the living at high levels, but at the lowest level, it does something called Whispers. Let me see. Here it is. That's exactly what you want, right? So, Embody 1, Whispers.
I don't have any pathos left.
You have no pathos left. You notice that you're quite wan, WAN now, Derek. You need emotion, and you need it quickly. And a Wraith would understand this intuitively, but with no pathos, you cannot say this to your assistant Mifanway. And so I'm going to leave Derek while he thinks about where he can earn some emotion from his passions, and I'm going to go to Dina Lewis. Dina Lewis, after that encounter, what did you decide to do next?
Dina's decided to go to the tallest building in the skyline.
Yeah.
And sit over the edge, and she's twirling the whatchamacallit in her fingers, thinking about my life and my afterlife, and heaven is apparently real. And I don't know why I didn't believe heaven wasn't real when I knew that ghosts were real, because I'd since crossed over. And she looks down at the bottom, the very bottom, and thinks like, if they can do it, I can do it. And stands up and dives.
You are just like approaching the ground at an incredible rate of speed. I'm gonna, if you want to pull this little trick, I'm gonna call for an Argos roll.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna call for an Argos roll. Now, I want to ask you something. I told you that when we created the characters the Wraith version of themselves, we didn't fill in every passion and every fetter. Do you think that there might be some sort of passion based on like thrill seeking or something that Dina has? I mean, it seems like she's doing this like why is she doing this, I guess, is my question.
It had seemed that Dina's job had gotten so monotonous. She gets a call, she, paints a face, and she goes home. And as much as that's stable and a reasonable person would like this is exceeding every expectation. Like I'm limitless here, but who's to say if I go to heaven, I become more complacent in my joy and happy in afterlife? So testing the limits of this plane of existence is exciting.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a new passion. It's called Test the Limits of This Plane of Existence. And the emotion attached is excitement. And we're going to see, and I'm going to say, let's see, you had 4 dots in your greed passion. How many dots do you think goes into this one? Equal amount, less, two dots, 3 dots? What do you think?
I'll say 3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 2 things are going to happen. First, you're going to roll your Argos power. So Argos, which is 2 dice plus, let's see, Phantom Wings. Here we go. A dexterity plus athletics. Actually, don't worry about Argos. This is just a dexterity plus athletics roll.
Okay.
And you need to spend 1 pathos too to kind of like make the wings sprout out. But you're kind of doing, once you've done that, once you've spent the pathos and made your flying start to happen, like then you just need to do dexterity plus athletics to see if you can pull off this maneuver.
Okay. I have 0 athletics, but I've got 3 in dexterity. So let's.
Okay. Here we
roll
go.
The die. Ooh, 2 successes.
You almost slam into the ground, but then you go spinning upward. All of those arms sort of weirdly flailing. You are flashing past like Cleveland taxi cabs and cars like in noonday traffic, and kind of like stretching yourself between them because your corpus. We've learned that Dina controls her corpus a little more than the other wraiths that we've met. And Dina, that was exciting. And so you can, and you are testing the limits of this plane of existence. So you may roll your passion, and however many successes you get, you will get that many pathos from it. So go ahead and roll 3 dice.
2 successes.
You get 2 pathos points from it.
Nice.
So Dina, you are having, I'm like, you probably feel incredibly, I don't know, buoyed by that experience. And I wonder where you head to next or what you do next.
The angel told me that I had been close to the door of heaven at some time. I'd been close to it. So I guess Dina's racking her brain to think, or does she even have a brain? Am I just gas in my head? Wow, a lot to think about, guys.
Yeah, you're kind of putting your fingers through your head a little bit. If you'd like, Dina, can make an intelligence plus occult roll right now.
Okay. So that's 3. Ooh, 1 success out of 3.
All you remember is that in those tunnels under the house, you heard the ocean. You heard a storm, and you think that might be a doorway into this tempest that she spoke of.
Remembering that, Dina takes one of her arms, bends it like a propeller, so it spins it around, and just goes back towards the house.
Okay, great. I am going to check in with Mac now. Mac, that last roll kept them busy for hours, but I can tell you that you're quickly running out of places to hide, places to kind of push your corpus into, to keep away from these awful creatures. At noon, Titleman tells you that they are at their least powerful. He will not be able to possess anyone because the shroud becomes thicker. He's less able to affect the living, but at night he will have more power.
I better hope Derek gets back here with Miffy before dark then.
right now, though, you
Mhm.
suddenly hear you're moving through the tunnels beneath, and you find that you have run down one where to go any farther, you hear black waves lapping against the floor of the tunnel, and you feel a cold wind brushing across your face. You haven't felt any air since dying, and you feel this like cold wind, and it kind of tears at your corpus a little bit. And you realize suddenly, hearing down the corridor, that the children have kind of accidentally dead ended you. You can either go beyond into this kind of like stormy place, or you can turn and face them right now, or you can do a third thing. You can hide somehow or figure something else out that I haven't thought of. So goddamn Derek, of course, is unreliable and isn't
Mhm.
fucking showing up for you like you need him to. Where's Dina? They're gone. They've left you here. What are you going to do, Mac McCready?
Derek was never on time in life. Why would I expect him to be on time in death? Uh, always missing his curtain calls. Uh, uh, Doc, what is the sea? Quick, what is it? Is it safe to go into? What is it?
That is the Tempest. It is not safe to go into at all. It is the most unhospitable environment that exists in the multiverse. We cannot.
Jesus fucking Christ, of course. Um, is there any like crevice in the rock down here, or anything I could try and compress myself into? Because if there's these tunnels, they shouldn't all be uniform unless they were, dug out by giant claws or something.
Yeah, there's like crevices and things like
Mhm.
that. You don't really have I'll tell you what, you
Mhm.
don't really have enough space to kind of really hide in one unless you kind of get one of these stones out of the way.
Okay. Yeah.
And to do that, you're going to have to try to move it. Or, Mac, you can take yet more corpus damage to kind of move through a wall yet again.
Okay. So trying to move the rock would be my what's the
Your
name of that power?
outrage power,
Yeah. Hmm. I've-
not your
I'll try.
best.
Not my best, but I'll try it. Why not?
Great. Okay. Strength plus outrage.
Yes.
It means that you're just going to like move enough like of this old these old like bricks out of the way, these loose bricks. You're going to move
Mhm.
enough of them out of the way that you can kind of like get back into like a kind of a place where the plaster and the brick has kind of degraded and like kind of hide in the shadows.
Mhm.
How did you do with those two dice?
Both successes somehow. 8 and a
Um,
9.
Mac, they start just like kind of like and these loose bricks down in these tunnels, they start whoosh, crashing to the ground, and you've opened up enough space that you can kind of hide back in the shadows. But I'm going to do a nasty thing that storytellers do
Of course.
sometime. You still need to roll to hide, and so would you please give me a stealth plus I'll make it a wits roll.
Okay, so I don't
And the
have anything in
children are
stealth.
going to roll to find you. Oh, you
I
have
don't have
nothing in stealth?
no.
Well, Dr. Titleman does, and so he will go ahead and give you a die.
Okay, so that brings me up to 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 out of 4 successes.
That's excellent. Let's see how the children do, because they're the ones looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
1 success, 2 success, 3 successes.
Well, can I spend a willpower to re-roll that 4th?
You better.
Okay, thank you. I love that. Love that look on your face there, Jared.
Yeah.
That is a 10. On the die.
Nicely done. You have beaten them. And so they're like, come out, wherever you are, Father. And they move past you yet again. You've survived a little longer. But where is Derek? Derek, what are you doing?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
As far as passions go, one of my passions in life Well, one of my convictions in life was it is not enough to succeed, your enemies must crumble.
Yes.
So might my dream humiliation of Reginald Derange have gained me any pathos back?
So, how powerful is that passion?
It's he fucking hates Reginald Derange. He really,
Okay.
really does not like him even a little bit. I would
Okay,
say it's almost as powerful as his desire to destroy his enemies.
destroy my enemies is the name of this passion. Destroy my enemies. And what is the emotion that is governing that passion?
Oh, wrath.
Wrath. I love
Wrath
it.
or jealousy, perhaps.
Ooh, you know what? I think jealousy is super interesting. And I think that uh you know, he did kind of fulfill sort of some of his jealousy against Reginald. It was only with a spectral. It was only with an ephemeral version of Reginald that exists in the mind of his assistant. He can't get quite as much pathos from that as say Dina could by kind of really doing something risky that fulfilled her passion. So how many dots do you want in Destroy My Enemy's Jealousy?
I would say probably 3.
Okay, great.
Almost as powerful as his 4 dots that he has in proving his worth to the acting world.
Okay, I'm gonna say he can roll to see if he gains any pathos from Destroy My Enemy's Jealousy, but instead of anything 6 or above being a success, he needs to get anything 8 or above.
8 or above.
Because he just destroyed a fake version of it.
That's true.
You know,
How many die? Is
that 3 dice? Because 3 dice in the passion. Yeah.
Come on, dices. You've been good to me so far in this game. Oh, okay. So I don't know if this is a 6 or a 9. It's got the dot at the bottom.
The dot. Well, what's the bottom? Is it the? I can't believe I'm doing this. Is it the stick part, or the little round part?
It's at the round part.
That means if it's got, get it really close to the camera, please. Oh, that's a 6. That's
okay.
A 6.
Then I biffed it completely.
You biffed it. Okay.
Yes.
So you are just kind of like, bereft of all passion. You are kind of doing what happens to Wraiths sometimes. You're kind of like losing yourself a little bit. You're not quite as solid as you were hours ago when you first died. But I will say that you have enough control of yourself that you do notice that Mifanway is leaving the hotel now, having taken a shower and changed clothes. Oh,
not without me.
Derek, there's someone who could help us, maybe. I have a little thing called Pact of Doom. Little on the nose, maybe, but we could get some power if you really want it.
You've sold this to me as a Pact of Doom, which is I'm going to be honest, that's put me on my guard a little.
Yes, but it doesn't have to be your doom now, does it? Maybe you bring doom to Reginald after we break free of all this. Real Reginald, real doom.
But first we need to destroy this mask.
Exactly. We can't do that with you having no power now, can we?
Well...
What would Reginald think if he saw you like this? We can't let him. We can't.
All I need, Shadow, is a little of my ghosty power to just influence Miffy a little bit to go after the mask. That's all I need, Shadow. Can you give me that?
Well, Mr. Storyteller, what can I give you?
That's what I was just looking up to see. What can the Pact of Doom give our friend? And I think that it can, in fact, help. Here we go. We just need the thorns. Where are they here? They're right around here somewhere.
But
okay, so
no deals. This is the last.
Yeah, here's the last one. The last Pact of Doom. Okay. This is the apocryphal deal with the devil. If the Wraith has this thorn, she and her shadow can negotiate a pact by means of which the shadow will teach her a predetermined number of levels in an Arcanos. In exchange, the shadow acquires permanent angst. different deal this time, though, because I like what you were doing with it a lot, RINA. I think that you can gain as many temporary angst as you give Derek points of pathos right now.
Well, you're going to need some power, aren't you, Derek, for all of this?
Just enough, Shadow. Just enough to
What do you?
influence Miffy, who's still on the clock.
Mhm.
She's paid through the month.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think? 4, maybe?
Just one, Shadow. That's all I
Just
need. I
one,
need a
but
tiny
when-
amount of your power.
And when you get to give your great performance later, when this is all being taken down and you have no energy left, think of what the reviews would say, Derek. Listless. Even more dead than a corpse.
Wound me, Shadow. I'll take your devil's deal.
Here we go.
Cursed creature.
How many points of pathos are you giving him, Shadow?
4.
And so 4 a temporary angst are added to the Shadow, and you have 4 pathos now, Derek Jacobson. And you better catch Miffy because she's getting into the elevator.
Oh yeah, catching up with Miffy before she gets in the elevator.
And she's looking over her list.
And I'm gonna use my embody ability, and I'm just gonna whisper, "The mask. Destroy the mask."
You're fairly screaming it from across the void, from across the shroud. And are you heard? We have to find out by rolling embody, but we know that you have to spend one of those hard gotten points of pathos to do so. And then you are going to roll your embody of 1, and you are going to add to that manipulation.
Yes, that was what I wanted to hear. Come on, 5 D's. Let's do it. 2 successes.
She's looking at her list, and you whisper in here, "The mask." And she kind of looks around. She looks at like the other guy in the elevator who's like this old man. And then she kind of like writes mask ? On her list. And you watch as she moves around the lobby, calling various people, letting them know that Derek Jacobson died a horrible, grisly death yesterday. And she finishes her calls. And then she calls an Uber. And she's getting into the Uber, Derek.
I'm going to follow her into the Uber, and I'm going to really, really hope that she's going back to the house, because otherwise I'm shithoused.
317 Terrace Street.
That's right.
And the car is moving toward the Terrace Castle. And so now, with a half hour left in our stream, I can tell you that both Dina and Derek arrive back at the house. Oh, and so does Mifanway, just as it's an October night, so the light is going away to the west already. As everybody arrives, it is getting dark again. It is the next night, and Mifanway sees that the entire thing is taped up and is a crime scene, and is kind of thinking about what she's going to do. Dina, what do you do when you arrive at the house? From the air, of course.
Yeah, I like down.
Gracious.
I've become a whole new whatever this is. And I'm gonna go to the back door and try to go through the back way into the basement.
Very good. So Derek, it seems like you noticed Dina sort of landing like a helicopter, and then like creeping around back. Mifanway is sort of it looks like she's having second thoughts. She's really considering what to do about this like caution tape. Is this really worth it? You can see her kind of like looking at her phone.
Oh, Miffy.
And then she moves forward and she's like, "Fine, Derek." And she lifts the caution tape and goes inside.
Quickly, Miffy, before it gets too dark, the ghastly spirit will be here. I don't know that. Sorry, that's out of character information, Miffy. Ignore
That's
that.
okay. That's okay. So What I think is that you must spend a point of corpus to like get through. The doors have all been shut up and locked. Anybody who's entering must spend a point of corpus to get inside. So that's both Dina and both Derek and Mifanwe. Well, actually, Derek, you can sneak in with Mifanwe, so you don't have to spend a point of corpus. Mifanwe comes up and kind of, the door is locked. What is this? Oh, shit. The door would be locked. Miss Fanway is now facing another impediment and is really having second thoughts. What's going to happen? How are you going to solve this problem?
Gonna use embody again?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, spend another point of pathos.
Oh no.
Would just like to say, I told you so.
I said that's enough out of you. I took your devil bargain. You don't need to deal with this sass alongside it.
Okay, charisma plus embody this time.
Oh no, that's slightly less good.
That's slightly the actual correct rule. I just was being easy on you before.
Okay, 4 Ds. Let's go. Oh, 2 successes. They're very nearly a crit. That would have been nice, wouldn't it?
What do you say?
Go around the back or break in or something. You've got to do it, Miffy. It's very important.
I really can't believe this. Am I really seriously hearing Derek fucking Jacobson from beyond the fucking grave? Fine, fine, Derek, fine, all right? Fine. You know what? She picks up like a piece of the sidewalk and she goes, I'm doing this now. This is happening. And she smashes the window on the front door of the house and starts like reaching around to unlock it and goes in. And Derek, as she does that, a cop car is coming around the corner. And it is shining its light toward the house.
I can't do anything spooky to the cop, really. Let's get in there, Miffy. You can.
Okay, let's see if the cop spots her or spots the broken door. The cop does spot the broken door, and the cop is stopping his car and getting up and walking into the house. Meanwhile, Dina Lewis, you have reached the cellar. And the second you get down into the cellar, Dina, you certainly notice that there is another presence. You can hear voices kind of echoing back in the tunnels beyond the cellar.
I'd like to like fog the area with mist of sea foam and flotsam, I think is the word.
That something you can do? No, I think it is. I think it is because I think that you have okay, so this power, it's usually an initiate power. You have to learn it from somebody, but maybe your character has it. It's called Enshroud. You can manipulate the membrane between the Shadowlands and the Tempest, drawing the sunless sea over yourself for concealment. Yeah, we used this earlier. You're very talented at Argos. You have an initiate power, even though you're a new Wraith. Okay, you need to give a Wits plus Argos roll to me.
Wits.
And your Argos is 2.
All right, let's rack it up. That's 2 successes.
Okay, great. So suddenly a water like burbles out of that tunnel that leads back in, deeper into the tunnel network, and sea foam, as you said, like this kind of weird hazy fog moves into the cellar, and you know that you have filled the passages with it, like you've enshrouded yourself. Are you going to go deeper? Are you going to go down into there, try to find your way into the Tempest?
Yes, but
Okay.
I'm going to kind of float near the ceiling, not where the ground would be, I guess, just so that I could be on top of whatever might attack me.
Great. Very smart. And so as you kind of crawl along the ceiling as you've done before, you see those like strange children at one junction point, kind of like looking around and yelling, "Daddy, Daddy." Yes. And you kind of spider walk above their heads, and you got 2 successes, right? You got 2 successes to enshroud yourself. They got 1 success to see you.
You
So
dumbass kids.
they did not see you. And soon you find yourself at a place where you know that to go any farther will lead directly down into the Tempest. You can see that like this place, you using your power, you have like drawn its essence out into the Shadowlands. You've drawn out this weird mist out into the Shadowlands, and this is the source. There is a hole in the world here. There is a rent. You can see it clearly with your Argos eyes, Dina Lewis. There is a rent in reality here that leads down into this storm. And Mac McCready, you are watching, Dina, because Hans Teitelman and you are carefully hidden right here near this rent in reality. And yeah, Mac, Hans is like, look, your friend has returned.
Dina!
I hear you calling to me, but I also am thinking, what if I threw these kids through this? Just like
They're back
sink
in the
them.
they're back in the tunnel behind you. Do you want to like call to them and bring them here and throw them down into there?
Yeah, I want to beckon them back.
Oh.
Still keeping as concealed as I can get. Their names are what? I forget their names.
That's okay. Mikkel, Annalise, and Eckert.
Mikkel, Annalise, Eckert, Daddy's this way.
And Hans Teitelman grabs you and is like, "What are you doing?"
I slip out of his hands. I am fucking powerful. Don't fucking put your hands on me.
She is consumed by her shadow. Look at her. I can tell she's been listening to it. You're trying to change yourself. You think you can become something more in this world. This is your opportunity for greatness, right? That's what you're thinking. Yes, I can see your shadow, Dina Lewis. Suddenly the children. Oh,
Dina, I just want to say this rules. Just carry on doing what you're doing. You're doing a wonderful job, darling.
Thank you. I'm really becoming my own person. I'm so happy I did this. The greatest job I ever took.
The children come running around the corner. Running and like kind of climbing around, clawing against the walls themselves, and they are rushing toward you.
Can I make a stealth sort of check to see that they don't?
Yeah, I think so.
notice
And
me?
you can. Why don't you roll your? Why don't you add 2 dice because of the Argos? Like this, your enshroud should be strongest here, where the stuff you've pulled from the Tempest is thickest.
Alrighty. That's gonna be 3 successes out of 5.
Oh,
Suck it,
damn.
kids.
Okay, they get
Na-na-na-na-na-na.
2 successes to kind of see what they're walking into, and so they kind of just run into the fog without quite looking, and they're right on the edge of the storm of the precipice.
I'm gonna swing down and give him a good old da-da-da-da-da-da, boom, pow, and knock him right into.
Here we go. This is an important roll. Dina Lewis, give me a strength plus brawl roll. That's 4 dice for you.
Okay.
Every success you get is a child that is tossed into the Tempest.
2 successes out of 4.
2 of them. So Dina just kind of swings down off of the roof and pushes Mikkel and Annalise across the precipice into what is called the Nihil down. And it's like there's just open sky. Like it truly is just kind of a roiling storm. And you hear them go, "Father, no!" And they kind of like their voices get far away. "That was a dirty trick." Eckert turns toward all of you, his eyes glowing with rage. There is an opportunity for Hans. He's like, No, children. Hans isn't going to do anything. Mac McReady, you have an opportunity here. Do you want to take it? What do you do?
I'm gonna try and push the kid into the storm.
Okay, great.
Let's go.
Mac.
Yes.
Strength plus brawl, please.
Which is like nothing.
It is one die, in fact.
Just one. Oh my
It'll-
god.
This is all we
It
need.
is one die.
No. Can I spend a willpower to reroll that?
I think you can.
Okay. This one rolled a 2, so I'm gonna pull a different d10. Okay, that's a 7. Okay.
You push the kid off into the storm. And Hans Titleman is like, "No, my children!" And then you see that he is overcome. Yeah, Hans, he can't believe you have done this. The thing that he never had the strength to do himself. And he's about to leap in after them. Do you try to stop him or do anything, Dina or Mac?
No.
I'm gonna try and grab him.
Okay. He starts to reach for them. He starts to jump in himself, and you grab him. Give me a dexterity
Hans.
plus athletics roll to grab him. Give me a dexterity roll.
Hans, this is better for them. You know it's better for them. You couldn't save them. This was hurting them. Okay, so dexterity plus what?
Athletics.
Okay. So that's 2 dice.
Okay.
Okay. That is 1 success out of 2.
That's enough.
Okay.
You grab a hold of his corpus. Some of it tears away, and he's like, "You're right. You're right. I have to let them go.
It wasn't them anymore. It wasn't them. You know it wasn't them. You said so yourself. It's not them.
And you hear the Ubergeist somewhere in the house screaming and roaring. And Derek Jacobson, you definitely hear that upstairs as you watch Mifanway kind of like looking through room after room. I don't see a fucking mask. And then she sees like a flashlight outside, and she's like, "Shit!" And she
I'm gonna go and
shuts down.
I'm gonna use embody to the cop.
Okay, great. Spend a point of pathos and roll charisma plus
Again, I told you so. Aren't you glad you listened to me for once?
Yes, I'm very glad I listened to you, Shadow. Now I need to convince this member of the constabulary to do what they're told. So allow me to concentrate.
All right. Yeah. So it's going to be charisma plus embody. You have an embody of only 1. So roll it and try to communicate with this cop.
2 successes.
And what do you say?
I say, remember that special offer? A free donut with every purchase of a Punisher t-shirt?
Hello?
You could still make it if you leave now.
He pulls his sidearm and is like, "Who's out there?"
It's me. It's your conscience. You haven't heard from me from a long time because you're.
He's
a cop.
moving toward you, so you're. That's all. That's all the embody you get. He's moving toward you so quickly, you kind of have to dodge out of the way, or he's going to rip your corpus as he moves through you. And you have momentarily distracted him. He thinks someone was in the room with him, so he's not looking toward where Mifanway is. Unfortunately, Mifanway has no idea where the mask is, and so is sort of just kind of like
it's in the basement, right?
It's in the basement. It's in the
Okay,
basement.
Got 1 pathos to go. Let's do it. Miffy,
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's important. Yeah, here we go. Give me a charisma plus embody roll 1 more time.
Embody, you're a good power. 2 successes.
Okay, great. What do you say?
I say, it's in the basement, Miffy.
Okay, Derek. One last errand. And you see her see the cellar stairs ahead of her, and she sneaks down into them and moves right through something that kind of suddenly steps in front of them. Derek Jacobson. It's big. Its mask is part of its face. It's wearing some sort of soldierly garb from a war that was fought long ago. Yes. And whatever part of it was human was long ago scoured away by the tempest. It moves toward you.
You have greatly displeased me, thespian. I am going to pull out what it passes for your organs.
And it starts to approach you to do exactly that with its long knife-like fingers. Derek Jacobson, what do you do?
Is there any way I'm getting out of this with a performance Shakespeare role?
That feels unlikely.
Okay, what about... Can I try... I'm going to try and give it... manipulate it to try and get it to go after the cop.
Interesting. Okay.
My thinking is a ghost. Is a ghosty.
Give
Like
me that.
So I previously got the enticing and interesting living target, and I want to say to it something along the lines of, "I'll be here forever, spirit." But that officer of the constabulary in the other room, he'll be gone any minute now. Why not take this opportunity to really scare someone who you can really have a true effect on? I'll be here when you're done. Pull out my organs.
Ah, I see. You wish for me to possess the officer of the law.
No, I didn't say possess.
A grand plan.
And you see that the specter is now moving toward the cop out in the outer rooms.
So
Do
he's
you want
gonna
to
have a
follow
gun
or
now.
go follow Myfanway's progress?
I'm gonna follow the ghosty because I want to try and run as much interference as I can to stop him from. I figure that I've got to stop. I've got to stop him from finding Miffy until Miffy can get the mask.
And then he can shred Miffy. Then it's fine.
Oh, she's on the clock.
So the Ubergeist arrives at the cop, and the cop who has a gun, by the way, and does his puppetry thing. You see him crawling inside the cop's body.
He's a
2,
ghost with a gun.
3,
Yeah, I didn't think
4, and suddenly the cop turns back around like this with his gun, and it's like, "Hello, young lady," and starts walking down the cellar steps. Meanwhile, Dina and Mac, you've handled the threat of the children, and you are standing there with Hans, and you can hear out in the halls, the tunnels nearby, you can hear Myfanway moving about, splashing in the puddles. What do you want to do?
Can I zip back to the mask since I have the connection to it?
Yes. I don't know that you have a power that allows you to appear there instantly, but you
Mhm.
can run over there very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know where it is. That's what I meant.
And it's laying on the floor. It's laying on the floor. Like the cops cleared out a lot of the stuff,
Mhm.
but thanks to you guys, it kind of is laying over in a dark corner.
So I want to use my, was it outrage, to move it to try and make some noise so that Miffy can find it faster.
Okay, great. Give me a strength plus outrage roll, and you must spend a point of pathos on this.
Okay, that's 1 out of 2 successes.
1 out of 2 successes is enough. You flick it, and it goes kang, like just that much, like clank, and then suddenly Myfanway goes, and she sees it, and she runs over, and she has it in her hands. It's like, is this it, Derek? Huh? Is this the damn mask?
You've got to destroy it, Miffy. You've got to destroy it. Remember the dream, Miffy. Destroy the mask.
Mifanwe moves back out of the weird, cellar room into the basement proper. And when Mifanwe arrives there, there's a cop with a gun. Dina Lewis, you're there. Mac McCready, you're there. Hans Titleman is there. Derek Jacobson, you have just followed this cop down the stairs. And
I want
he's
to throw
like,
myself in front of the cop. I don't even know if it can see me, but it might just be. This might be just symbolic.
You make me laugh.
I changed my mind.
And
Spirit,
Mifanwe is
take
like,
me instead.
who are you talking to? You fucking. What's that?
Take me instead, Spirit. Pull out
I
my
can't
organ.
take you. I mean, when I fire, I'm going to shoot right through you. Who are you talking to? So the spirit inside of the cop is really engaging with Derek, and Mifanwe is just confused, sitting there holding the mask. What does Dina Lewis want to do? And Dina, it might be say, fuck these fools. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm torn. I could test the limits of this plane of existence and try to rip the mask from her, and kind of like you're falling out of a plane, just like into the portal of heaven. Would that destroy this thing?
Well, the portal of heaven, as you call it, the portal of heaven, as you call it, is really in the Shadowlands, and the mask is kind of in the living world. It's hard to parse it all out. Hans kind of tried to explain it to you before, but a lot of these objects are hard for you to even touch because they're in the world of the living.
Yeah, I guess then I look to Mac and I say, I mean, what a great time we've had, and Derek, a lot of those plays I'd never heard of before. She does a backflip and out of there.
So, Dina, you run back through the tunnels. You have to run for a little bit or fly for a little bit, and then you come to that place you tossed the children into. And are you also going to enter the Tempest?
Yeah.
Unlike the children, you have Argos, and so you hit the wall of kind of like fog, and as it like breaks, you find yourself kind of falling, but it's a controlled fall. You're like gliding. You need to spend pathos because you're flying again. You're really flying right now, and I can tell you that, Dina, you suddenly see, 100 feet below you, an enormous churning sea of black water, but the water isn't quite water. It's the stuff of your corpus. It's soul stuff. It's made of souls, souls that have been smashed down into their base particles, and it is just an enormous roaring ocean with waves that seem to be like 15, 20, 30 feet tall, crashing against each other. Excuse me. If the children were tossed into this, I mean, their spirits must have been smashed apart by these waves below you. You, however, glide over them and away into the darkness. Meanwhile, back in the cellar.
I got an idea.
Okay. So does Mac. All right. Mac wants to possess Miffy.
Go for it. You need to roll. You can. Let's see. Your power is that you can skin ride, and then you can do. You have your 2 in puppetry allows you to make them do a sudden movement or something like that.
So what I want to do is I want to possess Miffy, and when possessed cops start shooting, I want Miffy's sudden reaction to be to hold up the mask so that the bullet goes through the mask, because a gunshot can pierce steel. And Doc said it was steel, so if we can shoot through it, we can break it apart.
That's so goddamn brilliant. Let's see if the dice help you do it.
Please.
First, you have to possess Mifanwe. And Derek is keeping the Ubergeist distracted for a moment, but now the der Ubergeist is through playing around.
I have
and
a plan
turns.
for Ubergeist. I want to use my 2 dots in occult with a speciality in fakery. I'm going to begin casting a spell.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and roll that. That'll be the first thing that gets rolled.
Okay.
To make him convince him that I'm about to bring down terrible ghosty powers upon him. And yes, that's my plan, is to make him think he's really fucked up, and actually I was a powerful sorcerer in life with a
Very
command.
good. Let's see if he believes you for even a second.
It's quite a lot of dice, so let's hope so. Oh, 3 successes?
He's like, so you studied the Hermetics as I have.
And you can see that he is quite the occultist himself. And he's like,
Shit.
Then you know that there becomes a moment when an alchemical work must move to its final stage.
I'll move you to your final stage, you bloody stupid ghost.
he is quite distracted. This gives you time. Mac,
Okay.
strength plus first, you need a skin ride. So the skin ride is strength plus puppetry and spend a pathos.
Okay. 3 successes. That's a 10.
You are inside of Mithanwe.
Okay.
You are seeing through Mithanwe's eyes. Suddenly, the smell of the cellar hits your nostrils again, and you're holding the mask in your hand. Mac, he's distracted. He's like talking to someone. He's going,
You mind? What are you trying to do? You think that you can stop me? An alchemical work must always move to its final stage.
like he's saying something like that. Would you like to use your Twitch yet, or are you waiting?
Well, Miffy's not armed, so I'm going to wait and then use the Twitch because he's definitely going to shoot at her. She's the only living thing in here.
Finally, he's like, enough, Patter! And he turns and he fires. And so I need you to roll Twitch. It's strength plus puppetry and spend another pathos. And let's see if you get this mask in the way in time.
Okay, that's 2 successes. I'm going to spend a willpower to re-roll the third one. And
Okay.
That is a 3 success, so 3 out of 3.
The spending the willpower was smart because he rolled and he got 2 successes.
Oh.
And so you bring the mask up, Mithanwe, just in the nick of time. The gun goes off. The bullet zips through the air. And for our dead friends, they normally see things happening in the Skinlands happening quickly. But perhaps in this moment, the weird stutter step reality of the Skinlands slows it down for a moment. You watch the bullet as it's lobbed across the cellar, and it hits the mask, and it breaks it in two. And the Spectre goes, ah! And like rips open the cop's mouth, like, ah! And like, ah! Like gets up out of the cop like he's taking off a pair of pants and reaches toward the mask. Ah! But then you see he's having trouble staying above the floor. He's having trouble. His legs are sinking down into the ground of the cellar. And then slowly he's like, no, I was so close to getting it outside. And then there's something else horrible that happens, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
It's also your fetter. The mask was one of your fetters. And so, Derek Jacobson, you watch as Mac also starts to glide down into the floor.
Mac, stay here. I'm going to run up and try and grab hold of them and go, remember, hold on to how much you think I'm a dick, all right? This will definitely prove me right in some way. If you disappear into the floor now, I don't think that you cannot disappear into the floor. I don't think you've got it in you. So come on, stay with me if you want to prove yourself.
Mac, just your head.
Someone has to keep you humble since Dina fucked off.
That's Mac's last line before they sink down into what is known as a harrowing. When your fetters are destroyed, you enter the labyrinth and you go through a harrowing to see if you as a wraith also will be destroyed. But unfortunately, we're out of time.
No.
And so that is our story. Man, wow, that had a great ending. You guys were fantastic. Holy shit. Poor Mac is down in the labyrinth going through a harrowing. So
But I
is
got my redemption.
you got your redemption.
yeah.
Dina is joining some sort of heretic cult in this Tempest.
Derek's just an ass.
And Derek is still where we left him, sort of emotionally as a character.
I just feel bad for Miffy, who's just gonna have Derek haunt her for the rest of her life.
Miffy, go ahead, use my credit card and get yourself some DoorDash, okay?
Will she be freed in the next pay period since you really don't have access to payroll anymore?
Yeah, that's gonna be it. It would be unethical.
That's our coda is Derek Jacobson using a point of pathos to tell Miffy she can get her own DoorDash using his credit card. And then I want to leave us on, forget Mac being tortured by specters somewhere down in the labyrinth. I want to leave us on Miffy eating an Impossible Burger alone in her hotel room.
Still has so many people to call.
Guys, I had so much fun with this series. I had so much fun playing with you. Thank you so much for trying this game out with me. You guys were incredible.
It was wonderful.
Thank you. I mean,
was
beyond.
fantastic.
I was pushed past my limits. I loved it.
I hope you'll come back. Maybe we can do more even with these characters at some point. I'm not shutting the door on them completely. We would love to have all three of you back or on any of our shows. So thank you guys so much. This is Patrick McNamara, RASHAWN Scott, and RINA HAENZE. Find them online on their socials. Find the stuff they do. Like the stuff they do. Hey, check out Patrick's music. Maybe give to his Patreon. Listen to RINA's appearances on other podcasts. Watch RASHAWN on Southside. And then tell them that you love them and you love their performance here tonight. Us performers really like that kind of thing. So please do that. I'm going to say goodbye for now. Guys, I hope we get to chat again soon. But for now, good night.
Bye.
Keep the lights on. Bye-bye. And that is tonight's sequence of Wraith the Oblivion. Wow, that got really interesting at the end. Once all the really weird Wraith stuff started coming in, it got really interesting. And I thought our players did a fantastic job playing their characters. I am going to say goodbye, but before I do, I'm going to remind you that next week in this space, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, you can watch us play Call of Cthulhu, the Neptune Society, in a special Halloween adventure entitled The Horns of Samhain. So come back for that. And then this coming Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, tune in for part 2 of Frankensteins of Pennsylvania with Joe McAdam, Abu Salim, and Ross Bryant. Until then, thank you guys so much for being here. Our viewers are so important to us. I really love that people will come and spend a Tuesday night with me, watching me do this, watching our players do this. I also want to thank Clinton Trucks and Brian Baldinger, Megan Arch, our social media manager, and Jill Petracek, who does all of our wonderful art direction. Thank you guys. I hope you're having a spooky Halloween season. And let's keep it going. Let's do more scary stuff soon. Bye-bye. Boo. See you later. Bye.